Hi, I'm Howard Brown. I'm a sales assistant here at America's Home Place in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Today we're going to talk about different soil tests you'll need to build your custom home. A lot of times our homeowners come in and they think about the one test that most people call the Perk Test. Now that's one type of test. Very, very important. If a customer has not purchased the land yet, they have to have that test done prior to purchasing that land. We recommend having that test done. It's a test that's done by an AOSE. AOSE stands for an Authorized On-Site Sewage Evaluator. This particular person is licensed to test the soil to determine how the fluids are going to be moving through the soil to be able to get a drain field. If you're in an area that does not have public water access, then you're going to have a septic and drain field system. Again, one type of test, but it's not the only soil test. That's what I really wanted to share today. That's one very, very important test. But there's another very, very, very important test. This other test is actually performed by a civil engineer, or what we call geotechnical engineer. They can perform a multitude of tests when they go out, but their main job is to test for the composition of the soil, to determine if it's strong soil or weak soil. Why is that important? Because your house has to sit on this soil. If the soil is weak, doesn't mean you can't use it. It's just that the engineer then is going to have to design the footers to stand up to the soil conditions. So that's what they're really looking for. What is this soil made up of? They can conduct a test for shrink swell. Now the shrink swell test is very, very important because that deals with the soil compaction. So when the soil gets wet, it's going to swell. When the soil dries up, it's going to shrink. So this swelling and shrinking of the soil can have an impact on your foundation. And that's why it's important to know what type of soil you have. The problems that can arise from not testing: doors that don't work. If your house starts shifting, your doors start sticking. Your windows start sticking. In general, when you build a house, settling does occur, but the whole idea is to have the settling occur evenly so that you don't see any difference in your windows or your doors or your flooring. Now those problems can be addressed, but you can address those problems ahead of time before the house is built, making sure your foundation is solid from proper soil testing. So everything does really start with that soil test. Recapping what those tests are I was talking about, we talked about your soil test for your sewage and drain field. That's your Perk test. We talked about getting a geotechnical engineer involved to deal with your foundation test. For shrink swell testing, you want to know as much as possible about that soil before this house is built. If you like this video, like and subscribe.